Here's a little peek at the project I made with the new Blue Palette Kit. But first, let me walk you through the kit so you can see all of the pages, and then I'll show you how I made these journaling cards at the end. Hello and welcome! This is Cara and I'm super excited to share a brand new palette kit. This one is the Blue Palette Kit. I called it Blue Serenade. And I wanted to do what I've been doing with the walkthrough and show you the inspiration fabric and then also the kit. Yay. Okay, so let's take a look. So here's the egg one that goes with the beautiful egg fabric. Really cute. And then we have, oh, I think it's upside down, the tickets. There's always tickets. It's in every color. Tim has his version of the tickets. And then here's this one. And then in every one there are stamps. Really cool stamps. And here's my version. Really love the hot air balloon stamp in this one. And then the French bingo fabric is so fun. I love it. I love it. And then here's my version. And here's the maps. And you'll notice that the fabric is just this really dark blue. And because we're using ink, I lightened mine up. This is still an ink hog, this page, but I lightened it up so it wouldn't be as much as if we went this dark. And then there's this mixed media type of fabric, really pretty. So fun. And then this is my version. It's a bookend page. And I added, kind of changed the colors a bit so the gold kind of fun colors kind of popped. And then I'm doing my palette kit after all of what are these collage strips, there's the name. I'm doing my collage strips as a separate set. So to fill in for the fabric or the page, this is the one I chose. Made a really large flower page. And then there's this really fun vertical stripe fabric. And here's my take on it. And then this beautiful floral. Reminds me of summer. Really fun. See a beach bag out of that. And then here's my version. And then there's this really fun script fabric. And then there's my version of that. Alright, so then these are my additional pages. So this kit has 20 pages. I think this one's really fun with the windmill. Words are hard. And then there's another bookend with the florals. And then we have this fun wallpaper, and it's in a fun grid. And then of course there's the tags. Love the fish. And then we have a collage with all of the backgrounds or pages. And then my ephemera page, more hot air balloons, love it. And then we have the 3 sizes of fussy cuts. Here's the small, and then the medium, and then 2 pages for the large. Yeah, so it's a total of 20 pages. And I want to do, and then we'll do a little project, but do you want to see a sneak peek of the indigo? I'm currently working on indigo, and if you are like me, you're thinking, well, Cara or Tim, what's the difference between indigo and blue? And the indigo fabrics are darker, and the blue is like a lighter kind of oceany feel, was what I was thinking. Okay, so let's jump into the project. Okay, let's make something with the Blue Palette Kit. I have some index cards that I sprayed with some Distress Oxide. I also have a couple that I painted with my instant coffee. And I'm going to use these as a kind of a hidden journaling spot. And I have a piece of the kit printed on, I think this might be 90 or 100-pound cardstock. I don't have the outside, so I'm not sure. You don't have to have it on cardstock. I will show you in a minute. You can have it on regular printer paper, maybe a little bit nicer printer paper just to have a little bit stability, or you would just use 2 of these cards to give it stability. All right, I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Okay, so then you're gonna take your paper and, where did it go? You're gonna cut it down, here it is. You're gonna cut it up, you're going to cut it to a rectangle that is 5 or whatever size your index card is. Mine is a 3x5, so I've cut my paper, it's 5 by 6 inches, right? So when I fold it in half, or you could score it, when I fold it in half, it's going to be a 3x5-ish, just like my card. And then this I'm going to hide under my journaling card or pocket. I could see this being a pocket and journal. And then this is a hidden journaling spot. Okay, a couple things. We need a way to keep that down. Even if we crease this a lot, it's still gonna pop up a little bit. So I'm going to show you that. You could even have a hidden pocket in this one. Do you want to go ahead and do that with this one? Let's do that. So if you want a hidden pocket in your with your hidden journaling, then we're going to take our circle punch and middle-ish, make our little thumb notch, and then of course we want to ink. And then this will be a pocket in here. Now, I want to make sure that this folds down a little bit. And especially now that this is going to be a pocket, I'm going to trim, in just a second, I'm going to trim off the part that overhangs. So you'll see I'm bringing it down slightly, so it's easier to get something in the pocket, and this will close, okay? All right, so before we close it up, before we glue it down, we want to think of our closure. And I've made a couple to show you some different ways you can do it. First way is simple. You can use a paper clip or another type of closure, and then that closes it, right? And then you could put this sideways in a journal. Then it wouldn't necessarily be a pocket. So you could put this sideways in a journal, and then it would have a cute little thing in the front, or you could have it off to the side if you wanted it to be a tuck spot still. And then it becomes a little tab in your journal. So that's one way, pretty cute. Super easy with just some ribbon and a paper clip. And then when you open this up, I put a index card on the top and an index card on the bottom because I used this paper and it's thinner and I wanted this to have some heft to it. All right, so that's one way to have your closure. The next one is this one. I added Velcro, and then you open it up, and I glued the other half of this underneath my index card. So then it just wraps around and closes like that. All right. And then again, when it's on your, let's say this is our journal page. In our journal, we want it as a tuck spot. You would just glue the back 3 sides right here, and then this will flip up like that. And then you would have a tuck spot right here. Pretty cute. All right, so the second way is to use Velcro for the closure. And then another way is to use a magnet. So if you have those little magnets that you can get on Amazon, you can do this. I think because I did it on the thin paper, I do think having something to make it a little more stable is a good idea because that's pretty flimsy, but it does close nicely. I added some lace and a journaling card, or a index card for journaling. So there's that way. All right, so I think we'll go with the Velcro in the pocket. If I have, there's 3 of these circles in the fussy cuts. There's a small, medium, and a large. I think I used the large, and then I think this might be the medium, but it should still work. All right, so we want to take this, and I'm going to try and get it in the middle, and I want most of my circle towards in the front, and then I'm going to take this and just kind of bend it over where I want it to go. All right, and then we are going to glue that back here on this card. Does that make sense? So this will be glued here, and this will wrap around and go like that. All right, so let's go ahead and glue it. Oh, you know what? Let's ink it. Did I ink it? Yeah, there's some ink on there. So a little glue on the flap. And I'm going to line up. I'm going to line my circle and my thumb notch. And then we can take this. And again, I want it to go, oh, you know what? We need to trim it. Yeah, since I've glued that on and I want it to be a little shorter, I'm going to trim a little bit off the top now. I wanted to trim it off the bottom, but I got to talking. So we're going to trim, I don't know, an 1/8. What is that? 1/16 of an inch? Not very much, just a little bit off the top. Like that. So let me show you. What is this? 1/8, 1/16, just a smidge. And then that will let us get to whatever we're putting in the pocket and let this fold down. Okay, so now I'm going to glue my 3 sides to make this a pocket. I'll put this in here, like that, line it up. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then this will wrap around the front and it will go like this. So this is where our Velcro comes into play. And I get mine from Dollar Tree, which is very handy. And then I'll place it here. Fold it over, smushy smush, and then I'll probably have to lift it and then smush it this way. All right, and then it looks kind of cute. It looks like a little, I don't know, like a little folio too. And then this will fold open, and there we go. I think for this one, let's go ahead and round our edges. Or our corners, not our edges. A little ink. And we need something in this pocket. For now, tomorrow I'm going to make more ephemera, or for Wednesday's video, using scraps. But for now, what do I want to do? We're just going to fold this and add a little bird. We'll tuck this in here just to show that you can. And then how about we decorate this corner with a dragonfly. Like that. Fold it like that. And then, what do we need on the front? That's a little big. I have some fun lace off to the side. That might be cute. Okay, cute. You know what? The other thing is, I think I would have preferred, it might be too late. I think what I want is this Velcro towards the top so that it doesn't kind of stick up like it was. It kind of, instead of this piece coming out more, I think I did it here too. See how there's a big gap? If you move it towards the top, it's still raised off the journal card, but it just looks a little more secure, I think. And I want something else. I don't know, I kind of like it simple, like this. Is that crazy? All right, so here we go again. There's that. Opens, and then you have a little tuck spot. You could cover this too if you didn't want it white. You could print double-sided, that would work too. And there you go. And you would have this as a tuck spot in your journal. So fun. All right, so keep your scraps from this project if you made a few. Again, on Wednesday we have, I'm going to do a scrap project, and we have a, what are the words I'm trying to say? On Wednesday we have a freebie that we're going to use. And do I have the freebie right here? I did. Oh my gosh. Here is a sneak peek of the freebie that we're going to make a project with on Wednesday. So come on back for Wednesday. All right, so let me know in the comments what you think of the new blue palette kit. And what are you going to make first? Are you going to make a hidden journaling spot like this? Or are you going to make a journal? What are you going to make? Let me know in the comments. And check out this next palette video I have for you. You might already have this color, but check out the next video. And as always, have a wonderfully crafty day. See you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.